You can coin a word, but you can't make it popular. It has to be accepted into the society at large and become used by people. Or else it's just a nonce word used once. Welcome to Inspirations for this week's post, which was called Make It Up to Get Made in the Shade. 2 inspirations for it. The first one being the video that was in the post that was about nonce words.
I'm such a nonce.
Nonce itself being an amazing word.
You nonce.
Which, according to that video, isn't short for nonsense. It's sort of a deviation on the word once, because these are words that authors invented for one instance in a book and would maybe never be used again. But in some instances, these words actually end up becoming part of the lexicon. And one of the examples given in the video is Dr. Seuss in the book If I Ran the Zoo, which was published in 1950, actually holds the first instance of the usage of the word nerd. Nerd. Anyway. Once words pass into the lexicon more officially, they become neologisms. The goat of that is probably Billy Shakespeare.
Oh my God.
I recommend you watch the video. Pandemonium. I didn't know where that came from. Freelance. I'm a freelancer. It's actually quite violent. The origin of robot. Affirmative. And meme also in there. Get yourself a lexicon before you rexicon. Sorry, I don't have any good jokes this week. None. I made up some words for this week's post, and they're most definitely nonce words. People will never use them again. You can't make them viral. Oh God, get me out of this meeting. The second thing, I've actually been thinking about writing this post for a while, is about this book, The Meaning of Liff. It's actually compiled by Douglas Adams and John Lloyd, The Meaning of Liff, and it's just a cute little book of just made up words. If something didn't have a word for it that they thought deserved a word, they made one up. I did mark a couple here just because I wanted to be able to grab some easily. One was happle, which is a verb, which means to annoy people by finishing their sentences for them and then telling them what they really meant to say. The other one I had marked is sconcer. It's a noun. It's a person who looks around them when talking to you to see if there's anyone more interesting about. Who hasn't been in that situation? You're a sconcer if you're doing that. Woking, which is like funny now that woke has such a divisive meaning. Woking, it's a participle verb, meaning standing in the kitchen wondering what you came in here for. What you doing? Just woking. This book is like got that old smell. When was it published? 1983. It's probably out of print. Anyway, let's move on.
We're walking and we're stopping.
The actual post itself. Let's take a look at some of the definitions of the words. Vocabulary aristocrats, a vocation taken on by word aficionados who consider themselves to be of higher social standing. And then the second meaning, a well-known and disgusting joke about words which ends with the punchline, and they're called the vocabulary aristocrats. I still remember that movie. I saw that in a theatre in New York, so I guess it was over 13 years ago. When was that movie? And I had never heard that joke before. And then you go in and watch that movie and it's just multiple tellings of that joke. The aristocrats. Classic. I thought this was a good workaround word. Since you can't say grammar Nazis anymore because you can't really make jokes about Nazis because there's actual Nazis. Vocabulary aristocrats. Cuff speculant, the act of providing or receiving improvised speculation that appears when you need it. So it's off the cuff, kind of like improv. You're just making it up. That's the making it up as you go along thing.
I'm making it up.
That's how you get through life. You fumble on in, stumble around for a bit, you get presented with problems, you figure out how to solve them. Might not be the best way to solve them, but you solve them and you move on. Moving on. Spellgyricium. It's kind of like I think of it as a active particle. Spellgyricium. But it's this idea of basic spell making and mixing it with the subtle art of the conjurer combined in the cauldron of mysticism. Ta-da! Spellgyricium. Get yours today from your local supermarket. Well, actually, no, I suppose it'd be from your local drugstore, pharmacist. It's probably a prescription item, spellgyricium. I don't know what the side effects are, but you should be applying it. Britillasium, bone matter that is delicate but works out in a gym, so is in truth strong like ox. softulent brain matter that's really extra thinky. Slink amplitude, an easy flowing of liquid. Gustonian. So I had said it flowed with all the slink amplitude of a Gustonian river. Gustonia is a made-up land in a made-up world. And Gust is the Gustonian god, the god of made-up shit. Great Gust! Good Gust! That's some quality made-up shit you got there. In the name of Gust we trust. All life is fiction in the memory of it, and the memory of it is what you're writing. You know, a memory is an unreliable witness. So you're, in a sense, when you're writing down a memory or telling a memory, you're making it up as you go along.
Think I'm making it up?
You live within the paragraphs and pages, flitting from house to house, engaging with characters who themselves are making it up on the spot. This is a thin air world blooming to life from a gas of a billion lies and truths and misspellings. There's a word for that too, the made from thin air word. That word is oxymargamation. Everybody's winging it out there, guys. Everybody creative is just throwing things against walls and seeing what the hell sticks. They're making up words, they're making up creative things, they're trying new ways to get their stuff seen by people with varying degrees of success. It can be very hard not to just chuck it all in, give up, but don't give up. Gotta keep going. That's what it's all about. How many words are there for snow again? Are you being snowed right now? Are you flaking or waking? I was actually thinking about how innocent words have been weaponised. So this idea of words for snow and how you get called a snowflake. Snowflakes are lovely. Are you flaking or waking? And now you're woke. We're back to this idea of being woke. And it just means, oh, I'm aware of other people. Should we be so rigid in our interpretations of these vocalisations? And what is voice anyway? What is voice but the arrangement of words, some known, some unknown, in ways that are pushed about by history? Over time, words change their meaning. Even truth is making it up as it goes along. Guess what? It never passes spell check either. Nothing really does. We're all walking around this earth with little squiggles underneath us of like, mistake, you spelled wrong. This is the wrong usage of you in this situation. What we need is Clippy to pop up and say, you look like you're having trouble. You look like you're trying to exist. Do you need help? Yes, Clippy, I do need help. I suppose that's AI now. Clippy is the original AI. People are complicated and there are no blanket words or blanket definitions, and even the word blanket is lying because you can have a blanket statement. A blanket can be a piece of cloth. The truth lies in the washing instructions. And that's how you wash the physical thing, but also like, you know, how you change your message to get out to the world, how you wash it. I always like the term greenwashing because it's evil. Whitewashing, greenwashing. You're washing something. That's how you get things to pass spell check. So you put them through the little word grinder. It fixes things. They come out all clean. Move on. You're always washing something in your life. You're washing the memory to make it nicer. You're washing conversations, like you're stopping yourself from speaking a certain way. You're keeping it, you know, just a bit more, I don't want to say clean because that implies you're not swearing, and that's not what I mean at all. It's like you're censoring yourself in some way.
Censor.
You're just trying to make it a bit more palatable, I guess. Just keep doing what you're doing. Make up your words. I don't necessarily mean you should be making up words. I'm basically saying you've just got to keep making it up as you go. Nobody knows what they're doing. Do you think I know what I'm doing? It's pretty bloody obvious I don't. But I'm trying to make it work.
It's work.
And that's really all that counts. The overarching theme of the post this week,
in case you missed it,
it's this idea of like, sometimes you feel like nothing is sticking. It's like, I must be using all the wrong words because people aren't responding to this. It's not really hitting. And it's not that you're using the wrong words. I just don't think people are ripe to receive them at that point. And I think the point is probably just keep on going. It's one of those rah-rah, keep on going posts, which I seem to do every week. Well, not really every week, every second week. And I think as a writer, you're often looking at what other people do and how successful they're being and what are they doing differently that I'm not doing and how can I adapt and adopt the way that they're operating and I too can become successful. How can I use their words? I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't look at what other people are doing because you can apply some of the marketing tactics to what you're doing to get your stuff seen. But ultimately, you have to think about your own path. You have to invent your own words, your own direction, your own voice to move forward. The end. So it might feel like you're not passing what I call the spell check, but really, you just got to be biding your time, twiddling your thumbs, waiting till your moment comes. That rhymed, I didn't mean it to. But this is the kind of advice I give to you. I don't know, I don't think I have much more to say than that. It's fun making up words. I wish I had actually taken the time to spend a bit longer on it. So I spent a couple of hours writing and I really could have come up with better words. But I am just making this up as I go along, much like this video. And on that note, I think you should go. I think we're done here. And I will see you, I don't know, next week. Bye.